Okay, so in today's video I'm going to be reading another beautiful extract from Prince Harry's memoir, Spur. And the part I'm going to read to you today from this gripping tale is the part where Harry describes how all of the celestial and heavenly bodies aligned that fateful day when he met his one true love, by pure coincidence, Meghan Markle. Now, I've been reading through a number of your comments recently, and a number of you know who you are, have been commenting on my moving backwards and forwards, my swaying. You're saying it's making you seasick. And so I've been thinking I need to concentrate a little bit more, and I need to stand still and be present, be in the moment, focus, do it for the fans, right? And then maybe you'll be more worthy of their love and respect. But then this morning I was scrolling through my Instagram reels. You know, the videos that you see on Instagram that appear one after the other, right? That appear random, you know. You think, well, where are these videos coming from? But in fact, they're generated by the algorithm based on things that you've liked in the past, videos, content that you've watched for an extended period of time, the stuff you've searched on Google, the movement of your eyeballs when you're on screen, the brain waves that they measure through the heat sensor in the back of the phone, which also gauges levels of sexual arousal, right? All of those videos, yeah? You know what I'm talking about, don't you? And I'm apparently, as a man, a heterosexual man in his mid-30s, a heterosexual white man in his mid-30s, what seems to be sexually arousing me less and less is beautiful young women, right? That's sort of tailing off now. There's less of that in my Reels feed, and it's more highlights of Mike Tyson knockouts, or Jocko Willink wrestling, or Joe Rogan taking ice baths and stuff like that, or Jordan Peterson saying something inspiring about how men are good for society, or I don't know, something like that. You know, that's what seems to be in my feed now. I guess the algorithm is learning that my testosterone is sort of nosediving, but that what's going to depress me is thinking that my testosterone is nosediving, right? So it probably sees I'm not going to be that interested, or as interested as I was, in the sexy young women, right? But I am moving into my silverback years without the muscle and intellect acquired that I should have acquired at this point. So it's allowing me to live vicariously through people like Joe Rogan taking ice baths, David Goggins running up a hill in 45-degree heat, and I don't know, Jordan Peterson talking about Dostoevsky or something like that. Right, so you know the Instagram reels, right? I came across this video today, right? And it changed my mind about the whole swaying backwards and forwards. I'll show you.
But never work for other people at what you do. Always remember that the reason that you initially started working was that there was something inside yourself that you felt that if you could manifest it in some way, you would understand more about yourself and how you coexist with the rest of society. And I think it's terribly dangerous for an artist to fulfill other people's expectations. I think they generally produce their worst work when they do that.
What was that, David Bowie? Be true to yourself. You lot are the same stiffs who would have said, David Bowie, stop playing all those instruments. Who the fuck is Ziggy Stardust? Spiders from Mars, you idiot. Get a job, Bowie. However, I'm a reasonable man, and I'm going to make a deal with you. If I get 20,000 likes on this video, I'll never sway again. Okay? 20,000. No more, no less. No, more's fine. No less. All right? Okay, so we're in part 3 of the book, and we're on chapter 2, right? And this is the part where he set up a date with Meghan Markle, but he's got to go and do some boat race somewhere, which is, fuck, you know how you feel when you've got a date with an American actress and you've got to go and race around some fucking needles somewhere in a racing boat, and it's just too much to do in one day, isn't it? You know, we've all been there. You know, the American actress waiting for you, and you're there racing a boat around some bloody stacks in the sea, you know. All normal everyday stuff. Anyway, let's get into it. And I'm paraphrasing, all right, algorithm? I'm not quoting directly, am I? No. All right. So after texting half the night into the wee hours, I groaned. I groaned. Oh, I bet you did. I bet it sounded like this. I groaned when that alarm rang at dawn. Time to get on Sir Keith's boat. Yeah, God, I hate it when the alarm goes off at dawn and I have to go and get on Sir Keith's boat. I don't know which Keith it is. I can't be asked to go back and read. But it's Keith and he's Sir Keith, all right? That's all you need to know. Probably a sailor, I'm guessing. He's got a boat. So, leave a comment if you know who that is. Time to get on Sir Keith's boat. But I also felt grateful. He felt grateful. Grateful that I had a date with an American actress and I was going to go and do a boat race, Sounds like a pretty decent life, doesn't it? And he was grateful. I was grateful. A sailing race was the only way I'd be able to put down my phone. Yeah, I sometimes feel like that. I feel like the only way I can just put my phone down for a bit is if I go and do a boat race, with Sir Keith. So I'm with him there. And I needed to put it down just for a spell to collect my wits. Yeah. I mean, Harry collecting his wits. That could take a while. Yeah. To pace myself. Sir Keith's boat is describing the boat. Nobody cares about the boat. He went into the teeth of a gale. The wind was fierce. The sea was a bit choppy, right? And he was in a boat. And then he describes how he'd been on boats before, and it was really choppy. The water, the waves were towering. I'd never feared death before, and now I found myself thinking, please don't let me drown before my big date. Yeah, that would be so annoying if you drowned before your date, because you'd be dead for the big date. And you don't want to be dead, you want to be alive for the big date, don't you? Yeah, he didn't want to drown before his big date. His big date with Meghan, the divorced actress. The divorced actress, 3 years his senior. I'm sorry, I know that's not relevant, but I do find it a bit odd the way he talks about her like she's some, I don't know, virgin queen. I know, I shouldn't. I don't know, he just talks about her like she's unattainable. Like, I don't want to go into looks and people's personal history too much because it just sounds petty, doesn't it? But I have always thought to myself, you're Prince Harry. There's a lot of women, that you could have had. And she's all right, she's a good-looking woman, I guess. Whatever. But I'm just saying, it's not like... I'm sure you were a hit with the ladies, Harry. With your millions and millions of pounds and being Prince Harry. Anyway, I don't know. Whatever. Sure, she's good looking. Sure she is. That's fine. I'm just... Anyway, he didn't want to drown before his big date. That was... Then another fear took hold. What if I drowned and died? I don't know, what's he on about? Then another fear took hold. The fear of no onboard loo. Right. He was fearing death and drowning, and then he's like, shit, there's nowhere to shit. Right? What if I drown and shit myself? What if my corpse is floating in the sea and everyone's laughing at me because I shit myself right before I died, Anyway, the fear took hold, the fear of no onboard loo. I held it in for as long as I possibly could. He's talking about pee, by the way, he wasn't shitting himself. I held it in for as long as I possibly could until I had no choice. I swung my anus over... No, he didn't say that. I swung my body over the side into the tossing sea. And I still couldn't pee. You know, he couldn't pee because he had stage fright. You know, all the big sailor men were looking at him and he couldn't pee. Mainly thanks to stage fright. The whole crew looking. Right. That is a bummer. But I don't know. You know, it's first there's the drowning, and the stage fright. You know. Finally, I went back to my post, sheepishly hung on to the ropes and peed my pants. I'm not making that up. He said that. He peed himself. He pissed his pants, and you know, sheepishly. I can imagine that. That sounds real. He sounds like he would be there, quivering with the ropes, fearing death and fearing piss. And anyway, wow, I thought, if Miss Markle could see me now. Miss Markle. Yeah, if she could see you now, she wouldn't care. Because you're Prince Harry, right? You are in control, mate. You know, she's got more to lose. She's Miss Markle. But I've noticed that he genuinely believes he's inferior to her. That he's not worthy of her love. Okay? He seems to, I don't know, he's been convinced somehow that she's this amazing, I don't know, being of light. Pure light, like Diana, right? There are just no imperfections at all whatsoever. And that he's inferior in some way. Which is amazing, because then in the rest of his life he believes he needs superior treatment to everyone else. You know, I remember in a previous video we learned how he was really upset about his half of the room in Balmoral Castle not overlooking the bronze statue of the roebuck deer, as Willie's half of the room did. You know, his half of the room didn't overlook the bronze statue and the fountain. Anyway, he won the race, and he said, my only concern was jumping into the water, washing the pee out of my trousers, then racing back to London where the bigger race, the ultimate race was about to begin. The ultimate race war, more like. Yeah, anyway, so he's racing back to London for his date with this unattainably beautiful and amazing woman, Meghan Markle, right? And the traffic was really bad because it was a Sunday night, blah, blah, blah. Every conceivable obstacle, gridlock, construction, bottlenecks. And I say bottlenecks because that's how he says it in the audiobook, believe me. He says all of his T's like D's, which makes him sound like a dwad. Anyway, gridlock, I ran into every conceivable obstacle. Rhinoceri! Every conceivable obstacle. Stop being hyperbolic, Harry. I know, it's a novel, isn't it? You can be hyperbolic. It's fine, Harry, it's fine. Nothing wrong with hyperbole. Hyperbole in a novel. Again and again, my bodyguards and I come to a full stop in the road, and we just sit 5 minutes, 10. Groaning, sweating. He says sweating, not sweating. Sweating, mentally shouting at the mass of unmoving cars, come on! Finally, it couldn't be avoided. I texted, running a bit late, sorry. Right, and here you get the first act of passive aggression by Meghan Markle. The first act of passive aggression, right? The first time she tries it on him, and he doesn't even pick up on it, right? I apologised, bitch, simp. Anyway, I apologised. Horrible traffic. Yeah, it's fine. You can apologise for being late for a date with the unattainable Meghan Markle. Right. Horrible traffic. I apologised. Her reply, okay. 2 letters. Okay. Right? That sounds pretty passive aggressive to me. She's like, it's okay. You don't need to worry about it. I don't care. Yeah. I told myself she might leave. I told my bodyguards she's gonna leave. Repetition to drive the point home. It was dark as I drove the point home. You know. I told my bodyguard she's gonna leave. As we inched towards the restaurant, I texted again, moving, but still slow. Right? And then she had the audacity, the caucasity to text back. She texted back, can't you just get out? Can't you just, like, get out of the car? And of course, he can't. He's Prince frickin' Harry. Okay? He can't just get out and walk. He's Prince Harry. Okay? He said, how to explain? No, I couldn't. This analogy is beautiful, by the way. Right? He explains what him running through the streets would be like. It would be like, and you'll see. I couldn't. I wasn't able to go running through the streets of London. It would be like a llama running through the streets of London. That's not how analogies work. You know, like when somebody's going to be really, something would be inappropriate because it would be too sort of, you know, when people say something like it would be like a bull in a china shop, you know, that's an analogy that works because there's neither a bull nor a china shop. You're making an analogy. But me running through the streets of London would be like a llama running through the streets of London. It wouldn't. It wouldn't, because you running through the streets of London and a llama running through the streets would be very different. Right? The press would be like, fuck, it's Prince Harry. People seeing a llama running through the streets of London, they'd be bemused, wouldn't they? What the fuck is a llama doing running through Soho? Right? It's so out of place. You know? Prince Harry's a human. They'd be like, oh, it's Prince Harry. You know what I mean? So I think what he needs to do with that analogy, it'd be like a llama running through, I don't know, what is a natural predator of the llama? Mountain lion? It'd be like him running through a field of mountain lions. A llama. Because the press of the lions, right? The pumas. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, it'd be like a llama running through the streets of London. It would make a scene. Ah, yes, it would make a scene. A different scene, though, I would say. Not exactly the same scene. It would cause security nightmares. Security nightmares. Never mind the press it might attract. Right? Anyway, you know, the bodyguards couldn't do that. Anyway, he arrives at the restaurant eventually, and he says this. He says, at last I arrived, red-cheeked, puffing, sweaty. Half an hour late, I ran into the restaurant, into a quiet room, and found her at a small table sitting area on a low velvet sofa in front of a low coffee table. Right? That's where he found her. Okay? She looked up, smiled. I apologised profusely. I was sweating profusely. I couldn't imagine many people had been late for this woman. This is the thing, it's like, I get it, you fancy her, right? But don't be such a damn simp. You're the Prince, damn Harry. You can be late for who you like, you know? You're an eligible bachelor, as eligible a bachelor as there ever was, right? You're a young prince with millions and millions of pounds. Meghan Markle, on the other hand, is an actress who's doing all right. Yeah, okay. You know, she's in a TV show that's doing okay. All right? All right. And she's no spring chicken at this point, I remind you. I don't know. She's about, at this time, what? This was what, like 2015, something like that? 2016? 6 years ago? She's older than I am now, right? She was older than I am now. Just saying. I already feel like spoiled goods at this point. I don't know. If a woman was late for me on a date, I'd be like, yeah, I understand. I don't know. I settled into the sofa, apologised again. Apologised again? Oh, come on, Harry. You got off on, she already has the upper hand, doesn't she? She already sees she can dominate you. She said she forgave me. She was having a beer, some sort of IPA. Oh, of course she was drinking IPA. Oh, cat piss. Who drinks IPA? If you drink IPA, I'm sorry, but you're wrong, okay? It tastes like shit. The only thing that you can drink beer-wise is lager. I'm sick of it. Even wheat beer's too much, right? IPAs taste like piss. They taste like piss, and you all sit around for it tastes of an orange. Hints of chocolate. You fucking... Shut up. It tastes shit. It's got no bubbles in it. It's cloudy. Of course Meghan Markle would drink that. The pretentious bitch. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm not joking, though. I hate IPAs. In that sense, I'm not joking. I asked for a Peroni. Peroni is my favourite word in my accent. I remember the girls, when I started going out, Peroni was like a light beer. I think it's like less, it's about 3% in it, alcohol, something like that. I might be completely wrong about that, but I remember it being, tasting light. And all the girls in Sheffield, they'd order a Peroni. And a Peroni. And a Corona. The one with the lemon in it, or what do they put in it? Lime. They put a slice of lime in macaroni. And what do you want? A Peroni? That was the north side of the city. That's how they spoke. Not on the south side. That was the good part of the city. Everyone spoke like Prince Harry. Everyone sort of spoke like that. Yeah, they had a neutral accent on that part of the city. Yeah. Anyway, I didn't want beer, but it seemed easier. It seemed easier. I didn't want to cause a conflict. The hell's wrong with you, Harry? Why are you so insecure, you millionaire prince? Oh, anyway, he goes on here about how amazing she was, right? She was an actress. She talks about London. She was here all the time, she said. Which is odd. Sometimes she just left her luggage at the Soho House for weeks. They stored it without question. Yes, Your Highness. Of course they did. The people there were like family. Everyone's like family with Meghan Markle, aren't they? She's got these really long, extended relationships with these staff at a hotel. All right, like all the guests on Archetypes. Okay, Meghan, sure. I thought, you're in London all the time. How have I never seen you? Red flag, Harry. Because it's bullshit. You've got all these friends in common as well, You had all these friends in common. Yet you've never seen her in London before. Odd, innit? Oh, and there's a little bit here I liked as well. I'd seen so many photos of her from fashion shoots and TV sets, all glam and glossy, but here she was in the flesh, no frills, no filter. Yeah, remember the first photo he saw, according to the documentary, the first photo he saw of Meghan was the one with the dog filter. The thing that, 30-odd-year-old women use on Instagram. It was in fashion a few years ago. I'm putting dog faces up on Instagram. Because you're retarded. The hell's wrong with you? Jesus Christ. Grow up. Alright? Do something worthwhile. What is that? 7-year-olds should have grown out of that. Women my age, bloody with the Instagram. What are you doing? The hell's wrong with you? And Harry saw that photo of the dog, and he went, "Who is that?" Right? You remember that bit from the documentary? I loved that bit. It was great, wasn't it? Right? And he said he saw her, and I was so nervous. I was struggling to understand what was happening. I was struggling to understand what was happening. Heart attack, beautiful. I was struggling. I was trying to process this, struggling to understand what was happening to my circulatory and nervous systems. It's just Meghan Markle. It's just, you know, an okay-looking, a pretty woman. Harry, I'm sure you'd seen pretty women before. How did she have this power over you? Was it the curt text messages? Okay, you know, when you're late. She had you by the balls from minute one, didn't she, Has? Anyway, what else? Yeah, she was best mates. She was busy mates with all the staff at this hotel. And what brings you here so often? Friends, business. Oh, business? Bollocks, Harry. Red flag. There is no business. She's an actress in Suits. What business? You fool. You know? Yachting trips. Acting was her main job, she said. The thing she was known for. But she had several careers. She had several careers. That's like when people say they speak several languages. Do you fuck speak several languages? Some people speak several languages. But most people who say they speak several languages are talking out of their anus. Alright? They don't. It's a liar. But anyway, she had several careers. Lifestyle writer, travel writer, corporate spokesperson, entrepreneur, activist, model. All bullshit. Right? She did a couple of blogs and then just appeared at places, you know, cutting ribbons, you know, the things she couldn't stand doing on other people's terms because she didn't get paid for it. Right? Yeah, right. Okay? All part of the plan. You know, she said she'd been all over the world, lived in various countries, worked for the US Embassy in Argentina. Now, there's someone I heard speaking a second language today, Viggo Mortensen. His bloody Argentinian accent. Oh my God, amazing. I think it turns out he did grow up in Argentina, but only until he was like 11. You know, only a few years of his childhood. It's unbelievable. Purely sounded Argentinian. Incredible. There you go. Anyway, worked for the US Embassy in Argentina. Her CV was dizzying. All part of the plan, she said. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Just get in with the right people. Pay your way into charity events. Become a spokesperson, entrepreneur. All this bullshit that doesn't mean anything. You know, fuck off ambulance. Ruining my video. Sorry about the ambulance, alright? I'm sorry for whoever that's going for. Farewell. Plan? I said, I asked. Plan? What plan? To help people, do some good, be free. Yeah, be free of ever paying for anything ever again, you know? That's what you want to be free from. Responsibility, isn't it? You social climbing wallflower, don't know what else to call you. You know, this is ad-lib, right? I'm in the creative process right now. Yeah, and then there's some, you know, I don't know. And then she suddenly got up and left because she had dinner plans. And so then his balls shrank even more into his bowels, or wherever they go when it's cold, right? Compared to her, Cinderella was the queen of long goodbyes, right? You see, you can't be so much of a simp, okay? That's what my Instagram reels have taught me. You knock them out, right? Like Mike Tyson, because I'm a fucking silverback, right? And men, there's no such thing as toxic masculinity. We need masculinity, right? Shut up! with your tooting horns. Right next to a busy road here, and it's rainy, so the tyres make more noise on the wet ground, and fuck. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. I've had a great time today, and I hope you have too. Like, share, subscribe, all the rest of it. Thank you. See you in the next one.